You know, in terms of the protocol, this is already set in the Constitution. So they're just following what is already laid down, regardless of who is managing the process. Everything is very, very clear-cut. So the functions of the committee, and I think our panel can also weigh in on this, how important and critical this is, setting the tone and the mood that there is willingness to go through this transitional process. So first, it calms the nerves of those people who end up thinking, will this government allow whoever wins, you know, for that smooth transitions? In other countries where you have now military taking over, you never really see this kind of openness that we are already discussing on the protocols and what happens. But from a lot of the engagements within that committee, they're also very heavy on security matters, because the person who will be declared as the president-elect has to obviously get intelligence briefs, security briefs on what's happening within the country. That's Interior Ministry's job, and that's why you have them in the committee. You're also talking about the military as well, looking at what's happening around our borders. But I think the deeper question now in terms of the politics around the transitional period, because they're very, very heavy on security and other matters, on the security detail changes for the president-elect, obviously. His family, the protection around his family, his business interest, his homes, and so on. It changes. But in terms of now the politics around that transitional period, I was seeing the Star newspaper, the headline, and we'll go to most of those stories, looking at all the dailies. Ruto Raila peace call as results expected, and there's a story about, you know, Uhuru calling both of them to make sure that they talk to their support bases to maintain that peace. But how important is now politics as it plays out during this transitional period from the committee itself?
I think the biggest shock for most people, especially those ones around the one who will be declared the president-elect, will be how a large percentage of them will be culled from his presence. I don't think many of them expect that. I don't think many of them are thinking they're the ones who are going to be culled. But you're going to see a lot of people who've been surrounding whoever this individual is. I mean, I think we can all agree who it will be. But I don't think many of them actually, I don't think many of them expect what is going to happen. Because in terms of even this committee handing over power, and for me, this is not even about what the current president will. For him, he has served his 2 terms. I don't think whether he's reluctant or you know, if he chose one side and the chance it didn't win. For him, he has no choice, and I actually feel a part of him is a bit relieved that he will be handing over the problems of the fuel subsidies and the high Unga prices and all those problems to the next person. So for me, that's not a problem. He will hand over. It is mandated in the Constitution. He has served his 2 terms. It doesn't matter who he's handing over to. But I think the people who are going to be handed over to might be in for some kind of political adjustment. The kind of access that they've had to this individual, you know, how they've been accessing him in his various spaces and through different methods. I think that is going to change significantly, and we are going to see a lot of I don't know if to call them early fallouts, or, you know, we will see a bit of that, a bit of bruised egos going forward, because the kind of access they have to this individual now is not the access they're going to have